Hi, welcome to a Vinyasa yoga class. My name is Kaylee. If you're joining me live this morning, happy summer solstice. If you're watching this at any other time of day, any other time of year, cool. I want to invite you to plug into the cyclical nature of the world. Right now, we're halfway through our year, and summer is just this time where nature is really exploring her fullest potential. Things are coming into bloom, fully into season, and we can invite our bodies, our minds, our spirits to kind of do that as well. Whatever you're working on, growing or cultivating, let yourself plug into your own kind of inner heat, inner energetic, like flame, if you will, inner energetic sun, if you will, to fuel not only this practice on your mat, but also whatever might be kind of cooking in your own, life brew at the time. Meet me in child's pose with that said. For the middle back end of your mat, knees separate, big toes come close together. And then just reach your arms long, drop your forehead down, take a few grounding breaths here. Doesn't need to be Ujjayi breath just yet. But maybe lengthening your breath a little bit more than you were breathing before stepping onto your mat. We always start from a place where we're giving our bodies and minds a chance to sync up and integrate. Stay here, just another cycle of breath or two, in through the nose. Maybe out through the mouth. You can always exhale through the mouth or the nose, whatever feels comfortable. When you're ready, slide forward to your hands and your knees. You can shift around a little bit, but set your wrists right underneath your shoulders and your knees right underneath your hips. We're going to check in with the shoulders today. Bring your right elbow out and back a little bit. Keep the pelvis level and neutral, but rotate from your waist up. Feel your right shoulder blade plugging onto the back of your ribs. Take a breath in. Bring your right hand to the top of your left hand. Press your hips back around your spine. Feel your right shoulder blade move away from the spine toward your right ear. Let's do that again. Lift up, right elbow bends. Inhale, shoulders are over the wrists. Exhale, right hand to left hand as you round the spine. 2 more times, just like that, moving with your breath. If the breath starts to kind of stress you out or get a little bit out of sync, that's fine. Just notice that you're taking those nice long breaths in and out. Reach the right elbow and the whole right arm up this time. Find your twist, breathe in. And then we're going to thread the needle, right arm underneath your body between the left knee and the left wrist. Melt yourself down to whatever degree feels comfortable. I always like to reach the left arm forward here, tent the fingers so the shoulders moving around on the back of the ribs. Take 2 deep breaths, find some space in your upper body, in your arms. And 1 more nice long inhale. And exhale. And bring the left hand back underneath your left shoulder. As you lift the right arm up, kick the right leg back, straight right leg, come onto the sole of the right foot, and then draw some circles with your right arm. Totally fine to bend your right elbow, but find some satisfying movement in your right shoulder blade. Go ahead and switch the direction of those circles, lengthen through your lower back. Take your right arm long toward the top of your mat, really opening up your right side body. And then we're going to press into the right foot and left knee as you come up into a kneeling reverse warrior. Left arm comes up. Bend your left elbow and then reach your right hand in front of the left elbow toward the left tricep to kind of dial up that stretch, find more space in the left side body. Try and keep the crown of the head in line with your sternum here. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, circle your hands to the top of the mat. Let's go to downward facing dog. Pedal it out a little bit here. Check in with your calves. Maybe drop 1 heel all the way down and lift the other up. And get the stretch back in the back of your lower leg, or maybe all the way into the hamstring and the back of the upper leg. Go ahead and bend both of your knees, lift your heels, send your chest back toward your thighs. It's called turbo dog, so the knees aren't on the mat. Core is engaged. Push through the balls of your feet, come to high push-up, fully straightening out the legs. You might have to adjust your hands a little bit. Come back to that turbo dog, big bend in the knees hover, chest presses toward thighs, and then press forward, kind of propel yourself on the balls of the feet. 2 more like that. Turbo dog, the high plank. Find some satisfying movement in your knees, warm up the legs, hold your high push-up, and then drop the knees straight down from where they are. Slowly lower down to a kneeling chaturanga. So stop when your ribs are right between the upper arms. Come onto the tops of the feet, upward facing dog here. Big stretch right out of the gate this morning. Breathe in. And then back to child's pose. Take your time, send your hips back towards your heels. Reconnect with the ground. Big breath in. Big breath out. Slide forward, back to hands and knees. We're gonna keep that same shoulder opener. Left elbow lifts. Feel the left shoulder plug into your spine. And then bring the left hand to the right hand. Send your hips back around your spine. Let that shoulder blade round toward the left ear. Inhale, lift the elbow. Exhale, hand to the right. 3 more times. So I cue a lot of breath cues in these practices. That said, if the breath just gets a little funky or you lose track of it, it is fine. It's always fine. Left arm comes all the way up this time. Big breath in. And then thread the needle over on this side. Option to stretch your right fingertips forward. Relax your jaw, relax your eyes. Deep breaths. And bring the right hand back underneath your right shoulder. Keep that left arm all the way open. Kick the left leg long back behind you. And then check in with your left shoulder. Drawing some circles over on this side. Totally fine to have a bend in the elbow. Find a path of movement that feels good in your shoulder. Switch the direction of those circles. And then we're going to set up gate pose or reverse, kneeling reverse warrior. Come up onto the right knee and left leg. Right arm comes up. Bend your right elbow, reach the left hand in front of the elbow, and then just gently pull that shoulder blade up. Find some space in the right side of your waist, the right side of your ribs, maybe even the right underarm or the right side of the neck. Big breath in. Downward facing dog. Circle your hands, tuck your toes, send your hips back. Nice deep breaths here. We've got one more warm-up sequence before we get going. So from downward facing dog, bring your big toes close together and then kick the right leg back behind you. Put a bend in your right knee. Hip opener over here. Keep the right knee bent. Bend your left knee, lift your left heel. Bring your right knee to your left calf. Push your chest toward your left thigh. Come back to that 3-legged dog variation. You might straighten out the left knee, but keep the heel lifted. Exhale, right knee, left calf. Couple more times like this. Keep pressing into your hands. Inhale, open through the hips. Exhale, square the hip, right knee, left calf. Last time, breathe in and breathe out. Kick all the way to 3-legged dog this time. Inhale. And then step your right foot between the thumbs. Drop the left knee down. Sweep your right arm up and open. Find dragonfly. And then bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Wiggle or toe heel your right foot over toward the right edge of your yoga mat, finding lizard lunge. You can come onto the top of your left foot if you like. Might even feel good to press to the top of the left foot and lift the left knee, or you can keep the left knee down. Try and find some length in the back of the neck. So you're not looking up, but you're not tucking the chin down. Find space in the upper back as you slide your shoulders down right behind your heart. If you've got the left toes untucked, come back onto the ball of your left foot, lift the left knee, high push-up position, building lots of heat in the abdominals right away here. Bend your knees, turbo dog, big breath in. High push-up, straighten the knees completely. 2 more times, inhale, turbo. Exhale, high plank. Last one, breathe in. High push-up to low push-up. Cobra or upward facing dog. Inhale, press into the tops of the feet. And then downward facing dog. Press into your hands. Take a breath to get connected and grounded here. And then the left leg will lift. Find 3-legged dog. Put a bend in your left knee. Open the left hip. Lift your right heel. Bend your right knee. Left knee, right calf. Little tap. And then open, breathe in. Left knee, right calf, square the hips, maybe a little internal rotation in the hips. Inhale, open. Last time, exhale, little tap. 3-legged dog this time, breathe in. Step between the thumbs. Drop the back knee, lift the left arm. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot as you wiggle your left foot over to the left. Maybe you untuck the right toes and crawl that right leg back a bit. You can keep the toes tucked, you can keep the right knee down. There's so many options. You want to choose what helps you feel connected, what helps you feel a balance of challenge, but also stability. So maybe you pick that right knee up. One way to kind of gauge if you're in that right spot in terms of challenge and stability is that the breath feels really smooth. So you can control that flow of prana and energy. Ujjayi breath, gentle constriction in your throat. Go ahead and drop the right knee down if it was lifted. Tuck the right toes under. Plank pose, press back. Big breath in. This time, lower all the way down. Bring your left forearm along the top of your mat. Bend your right knee. Catch your right foot. Little quad stretch here. Find some space in the front of your right thigh. Notice how the right kneecap feels today. Not because we're going to fret about it, but just because we want to be tuned in and aware. Keep the right knee bent, but bring the right hand back down underneath your right shoulder. Left hand under left shoulder. Tuck the left toes under. Push up to a bent knee, low push-up. And then we're gonna flip over, bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg, flip all the way around so you're facing the back of the mat. Bring your right hand toward your left foot. You might catch it, you might not. You could catch on to the calf or the knee. If you catch the left foot, you can interlace your fingers like a little sling, finding a big hamstring stretch here as you breathe. Totally fine to have a little tension in the hamstring. Going to keep the pelvis and the knees safe. If you feel really open, you could choose to bring your hands underneath the left heel, well, not me today, and lift that left heel up. All right, we're going to come out the same way we came in. Bring that left hand back to the top of the mat, right hand back to the top of the mat. High push up, bring the right toes back, breathe in. Lower all the way down as you breathe out. Bend your left knee, right forearm comes along the top of the mat. Find your quad stretch over here. So the good news is we're hopefully going to be nice and warmed up. All the joints got a little love. All the muscles got a little stretch and activation. So when we hit our flow in just a few moments, we'll be ready to go. All right, tuck the right toes under, hands come under shoulders, keep left knee bent. Lift up, keep the left knee bent as you rotate to drop the hips, reach your left arm for your right foot for your hamstring stretch. Maybe you bring both hands to a sling around the sole of the foot. Maybe you're working toward the knee. Not forcing anything here. Set your eyes toward your right big toe and then breathe. You drop into the stretch or the sensations in your body just a little bit more. Coming out the same way we came in, hands come back to the top, press down to lift the hips, high push up, breathe in, low push up as you breathe out. Cobra or upward facing dog, inhale, find a stretch in the front of the collarbones. Downward facing dog. Set your eyes toward the middle of the mat. Take 2 deep breaths. Feel free to paddle it out or to plug into some stillness. Look forward, lift the heels. Exhale the breath completely, then take a big step or a bunch of little ones to the top of your mat. Halfway stretch, come right into it. Press your palms into your shins. Reach the crown of the head away from your tailbone. Catch your calves, active forward fold. Press down to the balls of your feet. Do that one more time. Lift up halfway, big breath in. And then open mouth forward fold. And roll all the way up to standing, taking your time. Reach your arms up, big full body stretch here. Press your feet down, stretch up through your fingertips. And then bring your hands to your heart, let your eyes close. Whatever you need on your mat today, whatever you're working to cultivate, whatever feels supportive or energizing, see if you can home in on it. And we'll set the tone, call it in, just breathing that thing into every cell in your body as if you could brighten every little cell of yourself up. Nice big inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale like an offering, let it go. Surya Namaskar A, reach up on an inhale. Bow forward, long exhale. So this is our sun salutation. Surya is the sun. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Plant the hands, step back, high push-up, rock forward, lower down, half or all the way. Cobra or upward facing dog, moving with integrity, breathing in. And then downward facing dog. Set your eyes to one spot. Take one long inhale. Press your chest back a little bit more toward your legs as you exhale. Hold the air out. Look forward, step walk, or hop to the top. Halfway lift, breathe in. Chest to thighs, breathe out. Take it all the way up. Focus on the breath. This time, go right back down as you empty. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Plant your hands, step or hop to chaturanga. Work your way to downward facing dog. And take one more round of sun salutation A on your own. You can pause in down dog for a breath or two, or maybe you hop right back to the top of the mat and keep that cycle going. Either way, smoothing these shapes out, feeling every little bit of the transition from pose to pose. Traditionally, this sun salutation is literally like an offering, a way of honoring source. Whatever that means to you. Could be the sun, could be something entirely different. Make your way back to the top of the mat. We'll meet standing at the top of the mat. Once you're upright at the top, bring your hands to your heart center. Set your gaze onto the tips of your fingers. Come back to that intention that you set. On an inhale, bend your knees, reach your arms forward, find your chair pose, set your eyes to one spot, send your hips back a little bit, continue to move your breath. Every inhale, you have the opportunity to kind of brighten up, maybe lift just a little bit. Every exhale, sink a little bit deeper, press into your feet. 2 more deep breaths. And stay here, one more long inhale. On the exhale, stand up and take a little narrow row. Bend your elbows, pull them back, shoulders hug toward the spine. Back to chair, breathe in. It's a little flow here. Narrow row, straight legs, squeeze shoulders and glutes as you breathe out. Couple more, breathe in, reach open through the fingers. Option as you take that narrow row, exhale, close the fingers in little fists. 2 more, breath in. Breath out, warming up the upper back and the glutes. Breathe in and breathe out. Last time, chair pose, hold it here, finish your inhale and then fold forward on your exhale. Halfway stretch, take a breath. Vinyasa, however you want to get to downward facing dog. You can take that flow that we did for our sun salutations, or you might just step straight into downward facing dog. Once you're there, use an inhale to pick up your right leg. And then step your right foot between your thumbs. Keep the left knee and heel lifted. Dragonfly twist over here. You can tent the left fingers or press the left hand straight down under your shoulder. We're working to stack the shoulders and the wrists. Use your breath to find length in your spine. Nice big breath in. Bring your right hand down. We're going to find a wide pyramid stance. So you could slide your left foot forward a little bit. Straighten the right leg. I always like to lift the right toes. Find a stretch in the back of your right leg. So if that right leg doesn't straighten all the way, that is great. My left leg does not like straightening all the way. We're always, always going to honor our bodies in this practice. So there's tons of wisdom, tons of insight that our bodies have, and we're not here to override that. We're here to connect with it, to learn from it. Take a big breath in. Roll the weight back into the right foot, bend the right knee a bit. Crawl your fingers forward, lift the left leg up, standing splits. And then find something that feels kind of satisfying in your hips and your joints here. So some people, it might feel better to find a little external rotation through that left hip, that's fine. Big breath in, bring your left toes to your right heel without setting that foot down, just a little toe tap there. Kick back to standing split as you breathe in. And then we're gonna find reverse warrior. Step your left foot back to the back of the mat, straighten out the right leg as you cartwheel the arms up, right arm comes up. Option to lift the right toes. Breathe into your right side waist, your right side rib, your right underarm. Nice full inhale. Skandasana or side lunge at the back of the mat. So Skandasana, you can take it low, drop your hips toward your left heel, turn your right toes up. Side lunge, where we're gonna go when we start to flow with this. You bring your booty straight back, straight line in your spine here, so neutral spine. Big hinge to the hips. Maybe you take your arms into a T. So hold either Skandasana or your side lunge. I'm gonna turn to the side just to really dial this point in. So in your side lunge, your chest, your spine is working toward parallel. This left knee is not jutting really far forward over the left ankle. Totally different story if you're in Skandasana. One more long breath in. Long breath out. We're gonna find star. So pivot your feet down, reach your arms up. Big inhale there. Let's try that just a couple times so that as we flow, we know what's going on. We're gonna take that side lunge on the exhale. Maybe airplane wings, you can do whatever arm variation speaks to you. Back to star, breathe in. Side lunge, just once more, breathe out. Come up into star on the inhale. We're gonna find lightning crescent to the top. Pivot your toes forward, bend your right knee, lift your left heel, and then find a long line of energy and strength from the inner seam of your left leg all the way up through the back of your neck and the crown of your head. Breathe. Lift your belly away from your front thigh. One more full breath in. Stay here, stay strong as you breathe out. Reverse warrior, spin that back heel down, and we're gonna keep that right knee bent. Work your right knee toward your right little toe. Bend your right elbow. Just like we did in kneeling reverse warrior, you can bring your left hand to your right elbow, take that variation of the bind, or you might corkscrew your left arm behind you and bring your fingers to interlace. Either way, keep the integrity of your lunge. Press the back of your head into your right forearm. Whatever bind you caught, come back to that open variation of reverse warrior. Breathe in. Cartwheel your hands to the top, and then vinyasa. We'll meet up in downward facing dog. Feel free to add a round of push-ups if you want. My body's not feeling that today. Add a crow pose if you need. From downward facing dog, we'll take that on the left. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, step between the thumbs, dragonfly twist. Keep the back knee and heel lifted. Long line of energy from your back ankle to the crown of the head. See if you can drop the hips a little bit lower, but keep the pelvis and the core muscles active. Lift the pelvic floor, lift the abdominals. Nice big breath in. Left hand down. Pyramid variation as you exhale. So feel free, just like I mentioned on the other side, to honor whatever's going on in the back of your left leg in particular. You find a little bit more ease in the neck and the jaw. Send your long inhales into any pockets in your body that could use a little extra charge, a little extra oomph. We'll start to rebend the left knee if it's straightened. Crawl the fingers forward a bit, standing split, right leg comes up. Same deal on this side. Find what feels satisfying in your hips and your pelvis. You might experiment with opening up a little bit there or squaring the hips a bit more. It might change from day to day, from practice to practice. Big breath in. Right toes, left heel, just one time as you exhale, give it a little tap. Back to standing split on the inhale. And then step your right foot back, reverse triangle, cartwheel the arms open, straighten the left leg, maybe you lift the left toes. One more big breath in. Skandasana or side lunge at the back of your mat. When we flow, we'll be doing a side lunge. So if Skandasana is something that your body enjoys and appreciates, take it now. From Skandasana, let's meet up in that side lunge variation, or let's go to star first. Star first, press your feet down, moving mindfully. All of your toes are facing the long right edge of your yoga mat. Side lunge, big bend into your right knee. Send your butt back, your chest, your spine are parallel to the floor. Maybe you bring your arms into a T, pull the shoulder blades onto the back of your ribs and hug them together toward the midline of your spine. All right, star pose is an inhale. Let's take it twice, side lunge on the exhale. One more, breathe in. Breathe out, really squeeze through your right glutes. Come back to star on the inhale, pivot the toes forward, lightning crescent, lifting that right heel, strong through the ball of the right foot. Even though that right heel's lifted, push back as if you've got like a wall, a baseboard right behind your right heel that you can press into. Mula Bandha, pelvic floor engaged. Uddiyana Bandha, navel center pulling in. For 3, relax the jaw and the mouth. For 2, and 1, reverse warrior. Keep that left arm up, work your left knee toward your left pinky toe. So we're opening up the inside of the left thigh. Bend your left elbow, option to bring the right hand to the left elbow or to corkscrew your right arm back behind you, find your fingers. Yeah, use your breath to connect to the stretch here. Let it feel strong, let it feel satisfying. Keep pressing down to the knife edge of your right foot. Come back to your open variation of reverse warrior. Maybe you stretch just a little bit more here. Breathe in. Circle your hands to the top of the mat. Step back, vinyasa. Really meet in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, let's clear that out. Big breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let something go. From the top of the mat, lift your heels, look forward, step, walk, or hop your feet between your thumbs. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. All the way up on the inhale. Bend your elbows, squeeze your glutes on the exhale. Chair pose, breathe in. We've got 3 of those. Stand tall, little narrow row as you breathe out. Inhale, chair. Exhale, narrow row. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out. Come back to chair on the inhale. Keep the palms connected. Bring your fingertips to the mat outside of your right foot as you exhale. Keep that left upper arm pressing into the outside of the right knee as you open your right arm up, finding an open arm, deep chair twist. Big breath in. Bring the right palm to the left palm as you breathe out. Arms straight, palms stay connected, back to chair, inhale. Fingers go left as you exhale. Lift the left arm, breathe in. Left hand to right hand, breathe out. Back to chair, inhale. Thighs are burning, forward fold as you empty. Halfway stretch, take a breath in. Vinyasa, maybe you jump it back to chaturanga. Maybe you take a handstand on the way. I'm gonna keep it real simple today. Flow is complicated enough. From downward facing dog, we're gonna put that sequence together, 1 breath, 1 motion. Right leg high, breathe in. Step between the thumbs as you breathe out, right arm up. Inhale, find dragonfly. Pyramid variation as you exhale, straighten out the right leg. Standing split, take a breath in, lift the leg high. Left toes, right heel as you empty. Back to standing split, breathe in. Reverse triangle, take your time, set it up. Inhale, open. Side lunge to the back of the mat as you exhale. 3 times, find star, breathe in. Side lunge, breathe out. Once more, inhale. Side lunge, exhale. Star pose, take a breath in. We're gonna change it up, this time airplane. So pivot the toes, shift the weight forward. Very much like lightning cross-it. And in fact, if airplane's not doing it for you today, go ahead and just drop the ball of your left foot and come into your lightning cross-it instead. Some days having a little bit more support is great. And other days, maybe we're up to challenge the balance a bit and draw the abdominals inward and upward. Find space in the lower back here. Try not to dump into the lumbar spine. And then reach the crown of the head away from your sternum, shoulders squeeze toward your midline. All right, reverse warrior, here we go. Breathe in. Cartwheel your hands, step it back. Meet in downward facing dog. Stay connected to your breath if you can. From down dog, left leg lifts on the breath in. Step forward as you empty, dragonfly, come all the way open, finish that inhale. Pyramid variation as you exhale. Standing split, right leg high, breathe in. Toe taps the left heel as you breathe out. Back to your standing split on the inhale. Big step to the back with the right foot, exhale. Reverse triangle, breathe in. Side lunge to the back as you breathe out. Starburst, open, inhale. 2 more side lunges, exhale, take it low. Inhale, reach it high. Last time, exhale, take it low. Star pose, take a breath in, pivot the toes, you choose airplane or lightning crescent to the top. Set the eyes to one spot, maybe on the floor about 4 to 5 feet in front of you. Lengthen the back of the neck. Especially if you have anything funky going on in your neck or your shoulders. Bring a lot of awareness into the cervical spine. You can even take a peek at the screen here. But a lot of the time we're looking upward and we're pinching off through that cervical spine. Instead of doing that, just reach the crown of the head straight forward. Notice how you get all of that length there. And then notice if you tuck the chin down, try not to do that either. Sometimes the middle path is the hardest path to walk, but it's often the most sustainable. Big breath in. Big step with your right foot to the back. Reverse warrior. Finish an inhale. Circle your hands forward, step back. You know what to do. We'll meet in downward facing dog. All right, from downward dog, no rush to get there. We're gonna work back to the top of the mat. Take that flow through once more, adding a little bit kind of a cardio element. Take it or leave it. I'll try and give you options. Yeah, lift your heels forward. Empty the breath. Step walk or hop. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Hold forward and empty. Take it all the way up, getting warm, inhale. Bend your elbows, narrow row, straight legs, exhale. Chair pose, breathe in. 2 more narrow rows, breathe out. Inhale, chair. Exhale, narrow row. 1 more like that, breathe in. Breathe out, come back to chair, touch the palms together on the inhale, twist to the right on the exhale. Open the right arm, breathe in. Palms together, breathe out. Back to chair, stay low on the inhale. Twist to left as you exhale. The left arm opens, breathe in. Left hand down, breathe out. Chair, nice big breath in without rushing. Forward fold, stay here. Let's set up crow pose. If you don't want to do crow, that's totally fine. And I'm going to ask is that you play around with trying to plant your hands under your shoulders and then shift your weight toward your hands. Spread your fingers out. And then as if you're kind of clawing your mat underneath your hands, subtly pull the fingertips toward the center of your palm. Maybe you bend your knees and your elbows and start to make a little shelf. Perhaps your knees connect to your triceps. Maybe you lift one set of toes and then the other. If you're in crow and you have a transition to chaturanga that feels strong and steady, take a big breath in. With bent elbows on the exhale, jump back to chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra, breathe in. Ooh, downward facing dog. A big cleansing breath in through your nose. Open up, exhale, let it go. Right leg high, breathe in. Right foot forward, breathe out. Dragonfly on the inhale. Pyramid variation on the exhale. Standing split, take a breath in. Tap the left toes to the right heel as you breathe out. Back to standing split, inhale. Left foot to the back as you exhale, reverse triangle, breathe in. Side lunge to the back as you breathe out. So here's the option. From side lunge to the back, you can come back to star, or keep this front right leg straight, bring the left leg up and the arms up. Side lunge, and then maybe you find that balancing challenge. So meet me here, or meet me in your side lunge to star. Maybe you experiment a little bit with both. Maybe you do one of each. That feels good, a little combo. We're here for 5, 4, we'll meet in star in 3, 2, star pose, meet in star, big breath in. Airplane to the top of the mat as you empty. Bring your hands to your heart, start to bend your front knee, bend your back knee as you drop the left toes down. Square your shoulders and hips forward, shoulders over your hips. Tap that left knee just until you can barely feel the mat, and then fly it back to airplane. And back into that 90-90 bend. So we're not loading weight into that left knee. Just find the mat beneath the left knee, squeeze the glutes, and then fly it forward, alternating between these two. We're gonna meet in that 90-90 variation of a lunge in 3, 2, 1. Pull straight up and down, straight up and straight down. Front knee is stacked over your front ankle, shoulders over your hips. 5. We're gonna lower the left knee all the way down in 4, 3, 2, left knee all the way down. Reach your arms up, breathe in. Straighten out that front leg. Hanumanasana, half split. Stay here, take a couple nice long breaths. Maybe nod your head side to side. And then walk the hands forward. We're gonna rebend the front knee, tuck the back toes under. This time, find wild thing. Stand onto the outer edge of your left foot. Bring your right toes back behind you. Lift the right arm. Lift your hips. Breathe in. Big transition here. Exhale, bring your right hand down. Bring your right knee to your left elbow. And then shoot it out, dancing warrior. Inhale, lift that left arm. Exhale, left hand comes back down. We're going to go all the way back to wild thing. Tap the left elbow, then take it open. Breathe in. Take it back to dancing warrior. Tap the left elbow on the way. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap left elbow, open. Wild thing, breathe in. Once more, tap left elbow. Dancing warrior, breathe out. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, take it all the way to flip dog. Nice deep breath in, lift your hips. And then just like we did at the very beginning, lower the hips down, reach your right arm toward your left foot. Maybe you catch the left foot, breathe. And hug your left knee in, your left knee, hug your right knee in toward your right arm. You can stay here, or you can find a bind around the outside of your bent right leg. Slow your breathing down if you can. It doesn't mean that the breath gets less powerful. It means that we maybe find that little pause at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. Take 2 more deep breaths, maybe even close your eyes to really drop into the sensations of the stretch. From here, we're going to find a 3-point plank pose. So hopefully the arms got a little break. 3-point plank, right leg goes straight back, straight back. Stay here or tend the left fingers. Stay there or reach your left arm forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, lower the hand and the toes, and then lower to chaturanga or your belly. Cobra or up dog, pause, finish a really long inhale. Downward facing dog, okay, home stretch, left leg lifts, breathe in. Big step between the thumbs as you exhale, dragonfly burst open on the inhale. Pyramid variation as you exhale. Standing split, right leg lifts, breathe in. Toe taps the left heel as you breathe out. Back to standing split, inhale. Step back on the exhale, reverse triangle, breathe in. Side lunge, bend the right knee, pivot the toes. Okay, option is to take side lunge to start or side lunge to a straight left leg, bring your right knee up. You choose, maybe you take a little combo like me, that's feeling good today. So you've got 1 side lunge to start, followed by 1 side lunge to that balance. We'll meet in star. Find a piece that feels challenging, but that you can control in 5, 4, 3, 2, meet in star pose on 1, breathe in. Airplane to the top of the mat as you breathe out. Find your airplane pose. And then the ball of the right foot comes back, hands come to your heart, shoulders over your hips. Without putting weight in that right knee, just find your mat underneath the knee, squeeze, airplane. Tap the knee down, take it back to airplane, alternating between these two, almost lost my balance. We'll meet in that 90-90 lunge with a pulse in 5, 4, keep the connection to your breath, last 3, 2, meet me in that 90-90, add your pulse, really squeeze through your glutes. You can make this easier by using momentum, make it harder by really using muscular strength as if you're moving through honey. We're gonna drop that right knee down in 3. In 2 and 1, drop that knee down, breathe in. Hanumanasana over here, catch your breath, set your eyes or close them down. So we've got a little bit more of our core right here coming on the left, same thing that we did on the right. Think about the entire torso. So it's not just about the abdominals, it's not just about the spine, it's about this entire cylinder, the abs, the obliques, the back, as well as your pelvic floor on the bottom. Your diaphragm, which is a muscle on the top. Here we go. Rebend the left knee. We're going to take it to wild thing. Left toes come back behind you. Lift the hips. Big breath in. Left hand down. Left knee, right elbow, touch it. Then shoot it out. Wild thing. This is a long inhale. Exhale, right hand down. Tap the right elbow. Wild thing, did I say wild thing? Wild thing here, breathe in. Exhale, tap the right elbow, shoot it out. Here's dancing warrior. My brain is cooked. One more between these two. We're gonna meet in wild thing for real. So meet up in that wild thing variation. Nice big inhale. Let's go ahead and set the hips down, just like we did on the other side. You're gonna skip flip dog. Reach the left hand for the right foot. Press the left knee into the left shoulder. Maybe you catch the foot with both hands. Maybe you take a bind around the outside of your left leg. Without forcing it, without stressing about it, notice the breath lengthen. Notice the mind and everything start to slow down a little bit. All right, we're going to take it back to that 3-point plank. Hands down, last time the left leg goes straight back from the left hip. Find your balance here. This is an amazing place to stay. This is plenty hard. Or you tent the right fingers. If you start to lose your core engagement, come back to a version that you can sustain with integrity. Maybe you reach that right arm forward for 5. Not me today. 4, 3, 2, hand and ball of foot down. Low push-up. The cobra or up dog. The child's pose or seated meditation. Take your time, send your hips back to your heels. Let the eyes soften or close. And feel all of the energy moving around your body. So summer is the season of movement, of expansion. Heat and fire are like the elements, the qualities that we need for transformation. And just like in the digestive system, in Ayurveda, Yoga Sister Science, they talk about Agni, which is fire. We want Agni in the belly, fire in the belly to help us digest our food, to help us transform the food that we eat into the nutrients that we need, into these bodies and minds that we have and the things that we create through them. Let yourself sit with that heat for a moment. See if you can practice titrating, just controlling the breath without a ton of force, without a ton of effort. You're ready, you can blink your eyes open. We're going to set up for Gomukhasana, or a hip sequence. We'll only be in each of these stretches for a handful of breaths. You can bring the right knee forward and then stack the left knee on top of the right knee. So traditional Gomukhasana, cow face, we have the knees actually lined up. That doesn't work out great for everyone's hips. In fact, my left hip feels kind of fussy about that today. So maybe you take more of a cross-legged position with the left leg on top. And something that feels like a good stretch for the outsides of the hips without getting too attached to the exact alignment of the pose. And then once you've found it, maybe you start to walk the hands forward. Keep the hip bones down. So this is a hip hinge motion that's happening first. Instead of going right into that forward fold and right into that rounded spine position, see if you can fold over the hips. Once you've folded as far forward over the hips as you can, then you can add that spinal flexion. Breathe in a way that helps you find space in your body. And start to walk the hands back. This time we're going to take that left leg all the way out to the back or the side, and right leg out. So wide-legged straddle. You can flex the feet and point the toes, and bring a little awareness into the knees, and then start to walk the hands forward. Same thing here. Hinge through your hips and then round through your spine. I sound like a broken record sometimes, but keep breathing in a way that helps you find space in your body. If there are things that we're working on creating or growing in our lives, it's really hard for them to take root if there's no space left. So as much as the season of summer is about growth and expansion and light, right? It's the longest, lightest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. From this point forward, we're gradually, very slowly moving back toward darkness, back toward this energy of letting go. Always, always doing a little of both. And the right balance for each one of us individually is going to be a little different from day to day, season to season. A couple more breaths here, just noticing what chapter in your life you feel like you're in, what resonates more for you here. Maybe it's a little both, right? What are you growing? What projects are you working on? And what might you need to let go of in order to give those projects a chance, in order to give that growth the most opportunities, the most resources that you can. And start to walk the hands back. I'm going to go to the back of the mat this time. So bend your left knee, bring your right leg over on top of the left knee, either finding Gomukhasana or a cross-legged position. So the key, the important thing is that right leg's on top of the left and that you feel a stretch in both sides of the hips and thighs. Once you're there, long spine, hinge forward. And then once you've hinged as far forward as you can, allow your spine to flex. Maybe drop your chin and nod your chin slightly side to side. Lift the head, start to walk it back, unwind. Right leg to the top of the mat, left leg to the top of the mat, straighten out both of the legs, maybe give them a little shake out, flop the feet side to side. One last stretch, reach your arms up. What are you growing? What are you working on in life? Big breath in, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, what do you need to let go of to make space for that? Maybe you bend your knees and let go of some arbitrary alignment standards that you have. Maybe you're a little bit of a perfectionist like me, and you can let go of a little bit of the tyranny of everything needing to be just right before you get started. When you're ready, start to lift the head, the neck, the chest, walk the hands back. Slide the feet down underneath your knees. If you've got extra time today, here's where you might want to shut off the video. Otherwise, we'll take a short unroll spinal twist and Shavasana. So keep your spine flexed, draw the abdominals in, navel to backbone as you slowly, like you're setting down a string of beads with your vertebra, lower it down, arms go back over your head, big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Come right into Shavasana. If there's any other stretches that you need, feel free to add those in. As you work your way towards Shavasana, if you notice any gripping, any holding, make some adjustments, let yourself kind of shimmy around a little bit. You could even Clench your fists or your feet for a moment, breathing in. Then as you exhale, letting go, not resisting your body's natural ability to relax. And stay here for just a few moments, listening for my voice to pull you out shortly. When you're ready to move off of your mat, intentionally bring some deeper breaths into your body. Perhaps you nod your head side to side, or circle your ankles and your wrists. And then don't rush yourself. Don't rush yourself at all. Work your way eventually to a seated position. Taking your time to sit up tall, to bring your hands to your heart. Whatever season of life you personally find yourself in, whatever chapter of life you're going through. I'm sending you wishes for so much compassion, awareness, and courage. Close practice, one more big breath. This long inhale, find space. Let the ribs expand as your lungs fill. Let your shoulders lift up toward your ears a little bit. And then open mouth, exhale, let it go. Namaste. Thanks for sharing some of your time with me. Keep taking good care of yourself. I hope to see you again soon.